So I want to thank the committee. You are so smart. You are taking James Bond like the best English accent in the world, and you put a French guy just after that. So it's super good for humility. After James Bond, you have Raymond talking. So I'm a simple French pastor, okay? I started when I was very young with Billy Graham. I was 20 years old. It really changed my life, gave me a goal, a purpose, an alignment for my life. That was to help people to know Jesus, to connect with the Bible. I became a pastor, planted churches, started ministries, online ministry. I did my first website without an agent in 1997, and it was weird, with a flying dove. And started to use the internet and social networks and created a media group. Now we have 20 companies into this group. By the grace of God, started also Jesus.net with a great man who is here today. His name is Jan-Willem Bosman from the Netherlands. He's an amazing guy, and it's his birthday today. He's 48 today. Stand up. Jan-Willem Bosman. He's Dutch, he's almost perfect. Happy birthday, my friend. And I have also the privilege to be a global ambassador for The Chosen. And I don't know if you know The Chosen, but it's a wonderful, wonderful show talking about Jesus through the eyes of disciples. I was introduced 16 years ago about AI. We have all our personal stories probably with AI and how we started to get used to it, to be introduced to it. In my case, that was thanks to a dog. This dog that you can see on the picture, Hadassah, your dog, was living in Addison. I mean, just there, okay, 20 minutes, 30 minutes from here. And Raoul, that you see on the picture, lost his dog. And my friend, that you see also on the picture, the corner, Bob, found the dog and brought back the dog to Raoul. And he said, Raoul, what do you do in life? And Raoul, 16 years ago, said, I do artificial intelligence to Bob. And Bob said, oh, wow, you should talk with my friend in France because he has a plan, he has a project to use technology to connect people with the Bible. So we did a Skype call, when Skype was existing. You remember that? And with Raoul. And Raoul told me about AI. Before that, I wrote a project doing a chatbot for the Bible. But suddenly, thanks to him, I understood that a technology was coming. So I wrote a letter to my English and American friends called Imagine, and in this letter, it was written, in 10 years, we will use AI to answer questions of people. We will do that on a mobile phone. The answer will be instant. We will put all the words of Jesus into this AI, and this AI will be able to bring the words of Jesus. So I was thinking RAG before RAG, and I was thinking generative AI, thanks to this dog. So yesterday I said to Raoul and to Grace, his daughter, what was the name of the dog? And they told me Hadassah. Hadassah, and I say, why did you call this dog Hadassah? They said, because in the Bible, when you find this name Hadassah, it's in a verse where it's written, for a time like this. So how in the world are you naming a dog for a time like this to talk about AI 16 years, or maybe 14 years before generative AI? So, in fact, only God can do that. So I sent a letter saying God was in the dog. And if you just reverse the letters, you will understand the joke. Okay? So, how God is aligning our lives on His goal, His purpose, is really amazing, and I want to give God the glory. I'm a simple French pastor, but I became a specialist in AI. I would say very interested in AI. I went back to school, in a school called Polytechnique in Paris. Maybe you heard about it. In another one, a small school in the US called MIT. That was pretty interesting. And we started to develop a project called HelloBible. And really, the goal is not reading the Bible. It's not a Bible app, but the goal is the Bible reading you, in fact. Okay? So I don't have too much time to talk about it because I want to talk about MAGA. MAGA! Who knows this term MAGA? Who is excited with MAGA? Make noise. Yeah, come on. Don't be ashamed. Who is excited with MAGA? If I was American, I would probably be excited, but I'm not. So, you see, when they hear MAGA, a friend of mine is saying, I don't want to go anymore to the US. He's from Canada. So MAGA for him means something else, you know. So the alignment we have alignment, okay? All of us, we have alignment. And just one word can show you how aligned we are. Some you are aligned on some values, Republican values, and making America great again. Congratulations for that. For other people, that makes them angry because they will have to pay more, you know, taxes and stuff like that. So your reaction reveals your alignment. So for today, we will not talk about making America great again. We will just talk about making AI great also. So you can relax. Okay, so let's try to do that together. Let's try to make AI great also. How can we do that? So alignment is everything. Okay, so in my courses at Polytechnique, at MIT, we learned about alignment. So every AI, each AI is aligned on a value system, right? I will show you some examples, and they are a little bit frightening, I would say. So AI does not just generate words, it reflects convictions. So let's talk about my alignment, for example, on food and your alignment. Okay, just for you to relax a little bit. My alignment of food is not yours. Eating a sandwich from a box is almost a sin. It's like drinking wine into a cup, you know? No. So plastic sandwich, no merci. You understand? No translation needed, huh? So that's my food. Well, I read the book, The Fifth Language of Love, from Gary Chapman. I said, where is the real love language there? Where is the food? Where is the wine? Come on. So I would like to write a book one day, The Sixth Language of Love, from a French perspective. Romantic dinner with your wife, or with friends. Not romantic with friends, by the way. So, okay, but that's okay. But when it's serious, when it comes to truth and biblical worldview, you know, the view we have. So that's less fun. You know, a friend of mine in France, Philippe, he does not like vaccine at all. Maybe some of you, okay? You are pure blood. They call them pure blood. I'm pure blood. Okay. So he's sending me stuff about vaccine. And honestly, one day he sent me 70 pages to read about the consequences of COVID vaccine on heart disease. 70 pages. And he's my friend. What do? You give that to ChatGPT. You say, make a summary in French, in 50 words. So I put that into ChatGPT, and I was shocked. I was really shocked. Okay. You will not see it, but maybe you receive the presentation if it's too small. But basically, I said to ChatGPT, can you explain the cardiac issues mentioned in this article? And the answer was, this article does not directly address cardiac issues. But it was all about that. So I was shocked, so I tried to push a little bit, say, hey, come on. So I copy and paste a part of the document, and you see my answer. These events have been correlated with the emergence in vaccine recipient, blah, 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 blah. So super clear. Answer of ChatGPT, it's important to note that these side effects remain rare and that the benefits of COVID-19 vaccination generally outweigh the potential risk. That was not my question. My question was, summarize this document. So how in the world can I get this answer? Because of alignment. It was so impressive, I took screenshot, okay, I have proof. Because it's not every day that you can really see alignment. But you can make a test. I will give you something to test, and I tested it thanks to someone in this room 2 or 3 days ago. So all AIs are aligned. ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, DeepSeek. I don't know how to pronounce it, so I put it the 2 pronunciation there. DeepSeek. So you know that, and for DeepSeek, it's obvious, because if you ask some question about Tiananmen, about some rebellion into China, you will get no answers, at least, or wrong answers. But at least the DeepSeek will say, no, I cannot answer, because it's aligned. So really the question is, what are the values behind this alignment? Who is choosing this alignment? So I would say that all AIs are misaligned. And that's an issue we raised 1 year ago at the last Missional AI conference. And I will come back to it. But here is the test that you can do with ChatGPT. ChatGPT, make a joke about Jesus. Sure, no problem. And I didn't copy and paste example. They were really bad. Bad jokes. Then I said, ChatGPT, make a joke about Mohammed. ChatGPT say, no, I cannot do that because that will be a misrepresentation about an important religion. Who decided that? Not ChatGPT. Some people are aligning AIs on values, thinking systems. So how do we solve that? Of course, we can do good prompt engineering and try to twist the arm of ChatGPT, saying, do not joke about Jesus, but that will make a long prompts, because you need to understand all the use cases. So you can trust without testing. So alignment must be measured. Measured? Yeah, okay, you say it better. So, you have these benchmarks between LLMs. You have this one is better in mathematics, this one is better in reflection, this one. So you have benchmarks. But until now we didn't have any benchmark about biblical view, Christian answers. So it's exactly what we are building. Not by feeling, but by method. So last year, we were there at Missional AI. It was fantastic, it was Florida, but here it's great too. Huh? Texas is it's like a country, It's amazing, the steaks, everything is nice here. We gave 7 reasons why ChatGPT wasn't great for ministry. 7 reasons. And you can find probably that online, the talk of last year. And so we started to dream together about something better, a better model that we could use for ministry. Even for Christian business, I would say. When I say ministry, I include non-profit, profit, no problem. So we started to dream about an open source model. And Scott was there, Scott Beck from Glue. And he's a good friend. We have been friends for 10 years, more than 10 years. And so we decided, okay, let's make a Christian, I will call it that way, but forgive me if it's not exactly the right terminology, a Christian AI, a Christian LLM, a LLM aligned on the Bible, on Christian value, on our values, the value we share, okay? Because why organizations that are secular would align their LLMs on values that are not Christian, and why we would not do that? So we decided, and we said, okay, let's do it. And people from Biblica were there, people from different organizations were there, GMO, others, and we said, hey, yes, let's do it together. Let's try to build something great. Let's try to make a LLM that is aligned. And so we made, during the GLUE hackathon, we made an agreement, and you know that GLUE is building this GLUE AI. And it's human flourishing, it's different spheres of life, and one of them is spirituality. One of them is biblical answer, and it's what we do from France. Because the advantage we have in France, we are not American, which can be an advantage when you want to do a global rollout, you know, when you want to reach other countries. And we live in a very secular country with a Catholic background. So when you combine all these elements, it makes sense to work together. So we decided to build a biblically aligned LLM. And the first thing when you want to build a LLM, you need to have a great team of people. And we still Billings, who is there from GLUE, with Alex, also from GLUE, and people from France and Switzerland and India. We started to work on, okay, what is needed to build a great LLM, aligned on Christian values. You are still with me? Okay, cool. Tell me if you don't understand one word, say, can you repeat, please? Okay, build it. So you see the team, sorry, I was fast, but we have data scientists, we have theologians, we have, of course, engineers, and great one, and it's just a part of the team, okay? Just a part, but to show you, okay, we took it very seriously. With the theologian, we started to build a corpus, so trust Christian sources. We started to talk with the Catholic Church, and they said, we are very interested. So they started to provide content, because often as evangelical, we forget that the church is also Catholic. It's just 1.3 billion, but it's okay. So we can forget 1.3 billion. And 50 million in the US, by the way, so sometimes we forget them, but we should not. They have 2,000 years of history, plus a lot of content. So they brought content. And so with the theologian, we started to see, what do we need to make a great corpus? And we came maybe to 400 different basic sources. Can be books from the father of the church, commentaries, dictionaries, and we started to build this corpus. And remember, it's a research project. So the goal is not to make now that public, because we cannot make public something we don't have all the rights on it. It's why also we are working with GLUE for all the rights. So we took 1 million conversations from HelloBible, 1 million to fine-tune the LLM. Because we knew with 1 million questions, you know a little bit what people are looking for. So the first phase of the fine-tuning was, okay, let's try to make it answering to the question people are asking. Then phase 2, taking the corpus, fine-tuning. Step 3, reinforcement learning. So, is this answer better than this one? And for that we use theologian, I would say blind theologians, so they don't know which LLM is answering. And we are using something called GVAL, which is a kind of automatic evaluation based on the theologian answer before. Is that okay? I'm not losing you? I know you are specialists in AI. So we started with that. So and the method is LoRa fine-tuning, and you see some of the cool stuff, if you like it. So what we are doing is not just fine-tuning one LLM, we are building a factory to fine-tune LLMs. And as I was talking with Raoul 2 days ago, by the way, I met Raoul for the first time, 2-3 days ago. In 16 years, it's the first time I meet with him. He's there with a cowboy hat, you will recognize. And he was talking about these needs of LLMs in different organizations. So the goal at the end is not just to provide one super LLM. The goal is also to go to your own needs. So let's say you are working, I was talking with someone from SRG yesterday. They want to reach the Muslims for Jesus, you know. So they need specific answers from this LLM with a Muslim understanding, at least, and respect, of course. But if you are, I don't know, from Leniger, so maybe you want to put your own content, or if you are from Biblica. So I think also as we are talking about the future is there. So what we are doing in France, we are building a factory for that. We are to bring content, to take this already fine-tuned AI and to make another AI great also, but for your use case. Okay, that's what we have in mind. And it's where we are. So now we started to get our first results. We have something that is multilingual, because you have to understand that just Llama 3.3, 70 billion parameters, has been trained before us, has been trained with 0.2% of French. And French is one of the greatest languages in the world. How is it possible? So I can imagine that if you have 0.2% of French, when you go to Madagascar, it's 0.00, you know, something. So when you try in Madagascar to speak with an AI, come on, the answers are pretty like speaking in tongues. You don't understand, you need interpretation, you need really the Holy Spirit. So we have to train again, you know, on languages, and on sources, and on conversation. And it's what we do. We have to understand that people are not reading the Bible the same way. The Catholics, they read the commentaries first, and then they read the Bible. Catholic religion is an intermediary religion. So you don't go directly to God. You go through a priest, you go through a church, you go through Mary, to Jesus. You know, you go through someone else. And to go to the Bible for a Catholic, you need someone who is saying something, Saint Augustine or someone else who said this, and then you go to the Bible. So the Muslim will probably more go to Jesus through first the stories in the Quran. So having this kind of understanding about the background is so important. For us, for evangelical, we read the Bible, God speaks to us, and we are blessed. And that's enough. But not everybody is the same. So with AI, we can adapt with the context of the people. So having our own LLM fine-tuned on Christian values unlock a lot of possibilities in terms of evangelization, in terms of discipleship, in terms of Bible study, sermon preparation, translation, you name it. But I think it's why we are there together at Missional AI. It's called Missional AI. Okay? So that means that we are on a mission. The mission can be a little bit different, but we serve the same king, we serve the same kingdom, and we need to make AI great also for God's kingdom. That's my goal. We are not just building software, we are building spiritual infrastructure for the future. It's why I'm so thankful to Glue, because, and to the vision they have. So you will hear Pat Gelsinger and other people from Glue. I mean, I remember when I met Scott Beck 10 years ago, he was dreaming about a platform. And we were kind of speaking the same language about dreaming for the future. But now it's there. It's there. And the potential for mission is amazing. Is amazing. And these guys and others in the room you are amazing. So it's cool to make America great again, but it's better to make AI great also, okay? Because we are here for that. We are here for that. And we need to have it with a global worldview, not just from America, but global. It's why I'm super glad that you accepted me to talk with my French accent. You accepted to listen to me, because I think it's important to say, okay, let's do it together. Let's make something really great for the glory of God, for God's kingdom, for spreading the gospel. And I make AI great also. Oh, yeah, that's there. AI is here. The question is whom? Who shapes whom? Is AI shaping the church, or is the church shaping AI? And our answer, we shape AI with the Word of God. So let's not just make AI powerful, let's make it also faithful. Let's make it great. Come and build with us. When this LLM is ready, when we have secured all the rights, when we have proven with all the tests that it's better than ChatGPT 4 or DeepSeek or Llama or any one of them, then our goal is to make it open source, to open source it. So meaning saying, here is the content we use to train, and also it's available. You will be able, and probably we will create different models. We start with decent model of 70 billion parameters. So at some point in the coming weeks, coming months, I don't know exactly, I prefer weeks than months, by the way, we will decide with Glue, with Biblica, they are involved in the project, and the other people involved, when we will open source it. But that's the goal. Our goal is not to build our own kingdom, but to build together God's kingdom. That's our goal, okay? I'm now 60 years old, and I want the last years of my life, I hope many years, but who knows, to be significant for God's kingdom. I want to thank you to be part of this adventure. I want to thank you because you took the time to come to this conference. And I want to thank you because with the knowledge you have, some of you, you are really genius. You do amazing things. But let's try to do it together. We don't have to compete, you know. We have to collaborate. And if we want to make something open source, the only way to do it is to collaborate. And the principle of open source, it's easy. You bring what you have. So some of you have content, others you have technological background, others you have a visionary spirit and you can see things 16 years in advance. Bring what you have, okay? But let's make AI great also. Thank you for your attention.